And so immediately I make a rush for this good position. I assume that he was going to play defensive and come up this way, but he actually decides to go around and take this high point too, which was a very good idea. Because you always want to try and find a good position. Your soldiers get a melee bonus if you're fighting downhill. You get a charge bonus for charging downhill, and your musket balls are a little more devastating when firing downhill. So we both sort of found a good position here, and because he doesn't have skirmisher units, I'm going to be able to, or skirmisher units or artillery, I'm going to be able to force him off the hill. I got my long riflemen firing, and these guys are going to be pretty decisive. If I didn't have these long riflemen, this battle would have just been a really long standoff. And he moves his men back after taking a couple casualties, 10 casualties here off this unit. These long riflemen are really very devastating. They have good accuracy and very good range. And I'm moving my artillery to this hill, which, I mean, even this, it's not very far. Any regular cannon would be able to make that shot easily, but it's going to be just barely out of range, and eventually I'll move them here, and that's when they actually start causing a little bit of damage. So I have this line here, which really was, I was just setting this line up, hoping that he would eventually make a move. My strategy was to force him to attack with these guys, and here I was trying to move them up, but they took some really weird formation here. I fixed it, and he has all these elephants, which, to tell the truth, I was really very, very worried about, because these elephants are deadly, and you'll see what kind of damage they cause. I have my 1st Maryland and guards over here, my elite units, to deal with his elephants, because he has them over here, so I figure he's probably going to attack this wing with the elephants. So I want to put my best units over here to try and fight them off. And I'm still just kind of moving my artillery up. I'm going to unlimber them and kind of fire a couple shots, but they really won't be very effective. I have my cavalry over here, because his cavalry's over here, and I'm just kind of trying to get some shots off with these long riflemen. But for the most part, he's going to be able to stay just barely out of range. These guys are going to get some shots and cause quite a bit of damage. There we go, and let's just see the result of that. So obviously the long riflemen are very useful for forcing your opponent to move if he doesn't have anything to answer them with. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up here a little bit. And here he's making a move with his elephants. And I see that he's doing that. And in a moment I'm going to peel off the 1st Maryland and guards to face them and do a little shooting, and then I'm going to form them in squares to repel his attack. My long riflemen still firing, still causing a couple casualties. He's lost 20 men in this unit. Here we go. I have my guards run over to this better position, and they're going to be able to fire a couple shots just as the elephants are coming out through the woods. Shoot, guys, your life depends on it. There they go. They'll be able to drop an elephant or 2 or 3. And now I'm going to form them into squares because I want to have the best chances possible against these elephants. And here they come. can see they tear right through that square, and my men are already shaken. If it wasn't for this chevron of experience, they might have already routed. But as it stands now, they're steady and fighting these elephants here. See how my flag bearer does. Close up on this. And then he charges this square too with his elephants. And my opponent didn't use these elephants very well. What he should have done was either waited and charged with the elephants once he had me distracted with his men, and here I sent in my cavalry to give my infantry a fighting chance. What he should have done was engage me with his line infantry, and I have these guys set here to take some shots. He should have engaged me with his line infantry and then charged me from the flanks with the elephants, or he could have also attacked with the elephants to distract my attention and then send in the rest of his men over here. And if he'd done that, he would have won this battle quite easily, because these elephants, I mean, they last a long time and they're very, very deadly. But when you use them effectively like this, he really didn't make the best of these elephants. He could have just completely destroyed me here. And he does kind of attack, but this was really just such a weak, almost a token force against, I mean, had these men not even started shooting at them, they still would have won that fight. So, you don't want to just... He allowed me to focus all my attention on the elephant fight. And you don't want to do that. If you're going to attack, you should attack either in force on one flank or attack along all fronts, so that your opponent just doesn't even have a chance of repelling your attack. What he should have done was just sent in the rest of his line infantry while he was focused here. And you see, these men's backs are turned. He could have destroyed these and just come in and completely destroyed me. But unfortunately for him, he allowed me to rout his elephants, and this will be the deciding blow, because these elephants were so expensive. He didn't really have the money for a whole lot of other units. So me destroying these elephants with really negligible casualties. I lost about half of each of my cavalry units. I lost my guards unit and 30 out of my Maryland unit. But really, that isn't so bad, considering he lost every single one of his elephants. And here my line infantry here repelled his attack with no casualties at all. Like I said, he should have attacked in force. If he had, he almost certainly would have won the battle. Here's the carnage here. These dead elephants. These poor guys didn't stand a chance. It's a pretty weird position that they're in. I guess rigor mortis set in already. And here, I see that his flank is unprotected, his general's over there, so I start moving these battered infantry units here. I'm going to move them around to this side, shoot up his general, and then enclose him on this flank. Here, I'm moving my men up. I see he's having a bit of movement here. I'm going to put my men here to engage him now that I have the upper hand. And here I relimbered my artillery since they weren't really doing much, and I'm going to put them on this hill. That'll actually cause some damage. And here, I sent this unit over there, but they went the wrong way. So instead of letting them get trapped and encircled, I decided to just send them, I'll do that in a second, send them here to help these guys out. So, here I go, running my line infantry and 1st Maryland over, and I'll gun speed up a little bit. And here, I made sure to turn off the fire at will for my long riflemen, while these guys were in front, so they didn't take any unnecessary casualties. And now the fight is beginning in full here. Just see how good this game looks. I'm only playing this on medium settings, and it still looks amazing. So I just wish that Napoleon looked this good on my computer. For some reason, Empire looks better on my computer than Napoleon does, and the only reason I don't like, I like Napoleon more, and that's only because the load times on Empire are just ridiculous. I can wait 2 minutes for the game to load, and here he's gonna go ahead and try and take out my very weakened cavalry, and he will actually succeed in that. Here I see that my cavalry have no chance, and peel off this unit of line infantry to try and get some shots off the Sipahis. And the fight is continuing here. Here I engaged his general. There he is, the Marata general. I'm going to go ahead and charge the rest of my men in to take this guy out. So let's go ahead and watch this fight a little bit. Also, over here, he defeated my cavalry, charged this line infantry regiment, and is going to rout them. Let's see if we can watch the general die over here. And there he goes. Now that unit's going to rout with only 3 elephants left. They're going to go down pretty quick now that the general's gone. There they go. My men are going to fire off some shots at them to finish them off. Now over here I see that he has me outnumbered, so I'm going to charge my general in, and unfortunately when I try to run him away he just walks and he's going to rout, but not die, luckily. So here I see that I'm heavily outnumbered and collapse my flank to gain better position and just buy some time for these guys to reinforce. Just walking over. I think I noticed that they're walking instead to run, because I really want I need the reinforcements over here. So I have these guys, I collapse the flank to seek their position and to buy time. And here he charges my long riflemen with these Sipahis. And while the Sipahis would have won this fight very easily, the fire support from my line infantry is gonna rout them and save my long riflemen. So there's that carnage, and these Sipahis are going down. And now they rout. They're shattered, running from my victorious American troops. And unfortunately I had a case of friendly fire there. How sad. Now I'm going to move my men in order to get a better position to fire on his. See the fight here. And I finally have my artillery firing effectively right up here on this hill. There they go. And now I am, he peels off this unit to slow my advance here, so I just charge all my men into combat. And the fight here is just, it's kind of at a stalemate. But with the reinforcements coming to surround them, I will have this battle won quite handily. So the cool fighting animations here. And here, my opponent left the game. And this is the result screen. As you can see, I didn't have a whole lot of kills with any of my units. These long riflemen did pretty well. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.